In the name of Allah. In the year 36 AH, the history of Islam witnessed one of its bloodiest and most influential battles. A war that was fought not only for power, but also for justice and righteousness. This war was called the War of Camel. But why camel? And what happened that yesterday's companions lined up against each other today? A story of betrayal, regret, and seeking justice. Be with me. Imam Ali had just come to power, and Talha and Zubair, who were old companions of the Prophet, came to Imam Ali and asked to rule a part of the Islamic land. Imam Ali replied in the negative. It is recorded in history that one day Talha and Zubair went to the commander of the faithful in his office, and the working time was over, and Talha and Zubair wanted to talk. Imam Ali extinguished the candle and lit another candle, and said that since our conversation was private, I extinguished the candle that belongs to the public treasury and lit my own candle. Talha and Zubair said to each other, Ali observes justice in using the candle. Do you want him to rule us out of friendship? Without saying a word, they got up and left. Talha and Zubair left Kufa for Hajj and went to Medina to Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, and talked to her about declaring war on Imam Ali under the pretext of Uthman's revenge. The camel army prepared for war and set out from Medina towards Kufa. And because Aisha was riding a camel in this war, it was called the Camel War, meaning camel. On the way they came, they reached the land of Hawab and heard the sound of dogs barking. Aisha asked where this land was. They said it was the land of Hawab. Aisha regretted it and said, The Prophet warned me, Aisha, lest the dogs of Hawab bark at you. Then know that you are going the wrong way. And Aisha regretted coming to war until Talha and Zubair brought 40 men, and they swore that this was not the land of Hawab, and Aisha agreed to continue the journey. And the war began, and many were killed on each side. And in the midst of the war, someone asked Imam Ali, Which side should I go? On one side stood Ali, the son-in-law and successor of the Prophet, and on the other side stood the Prophet's wife and his close companions. Now I was confused as to who was right. Imam Ali said, Don't judge the truth by people. Judge people by the truth. That is, first judge the truth, and then judge people by the truth. At the end of the war, Zubair regretted standing in front of Imam Ali and abandoned the war, but unfortunately he was killed by one of his opponents. Imam Hassan cut off the legs of the camel that Aisha was riding with his sword, and the army was defeated. And Imam Ali came to Zubair's body and cried a lot and said, O Zubair, you have wronged yourself. After the victory of Imam Ali's army, he returned Aisha to Medina with several black-clad warriors out of respect for the Prophet. When Aisha arrived in Medina, she said, Ali did not respect me, and sent the Prophet's wife to Medina with 20 warriors. Suddenly, one of the black-clad warriors took off her veil and said, We were all women who wore combat uniforms and accompanied you to Medina. This behavior of Imam Ali showed his justice and generosity towards those who had fought with him. The Battle of Camel is not only a historical battle, but also great lessons for all humans, a lesson of justice, even against enemies, a lesson of regret, but when it may be too late. And the lesson is that the desire for power and rule can turn yesterday's friends into today's enemies. In this war, Imam Ali, A.S., not only fought for justice, but also showed that justice and humanity, even on the battlefield, are unforgettable. My dear friends, I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support us.